over $750, all through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be breezy and warm with an afternoon high near 92. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms are likely, low around 59. And tomorrow, showers continue throughout the day. It'll be breezy and cool with a high just 62. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions with pay starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School, the New School Way, coming at you live here at 1040 O Street. We are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Old Cheney, / Mat, and 168th and Maple up there in the O, where E-Strick is headed. From on the block, 2 hours with E-Strick, a lot of knowledge with the NBA Finals coming up, and a lot of other things. But, Austin, things have settled down. Obviously, I want to give you and Nick credit for what you guys did for state baseball. You guys did a really good job, man, and made it really, really good. That when the listening felt like we were there, and the stick-to-itiveness for the last championship game through the rain, late night for you guys, but still,
we're just glad it delivered.
Yeah,
if that would have been a 7-1 game, it would have been tough. But the fact that it was intense
right down
all the way
to the
through,
wire, and everybody thought that. Lincoln East, who eventually won it. Big shout out to my man Brody McIntyre, B-Dog. Same birthday. That's my dude.
How about that?
Man. Yeah. Only chink in his armor is that he didn't play long enough for me in basketball, but he's a heck of a baseball player. He's going to St. Thomas. Everybody thought East was going to run away from it, and obviously Papillion, La Vista South, was Miller North. Excuse me.
Yep.
Showed that championship pedigree and almost pulled it off. But wanted to give you guys. Your kudos for doing a great job. So, look, it's kind of a weird time in sports. Obviously, The NBA Finals is going on. You got baseball starting to kind of MLB getting ramped up. College World Series, obviously, will probably move the mothership up there at various times, so forth and so on. Not a lot going on in football usually, but
Frank Ragnow
retiring out of nowhere, which I think you're going to see a lot more from players because they get paid so much early in their career, and then if you get that second contract, they can figure out other things to do. I feel for him. I got a couple bad wheels myself. I can only imagine being at his age and the extensive surgeries that he's went through, that I've had, and he's had them. Obviously, ever since he's been in the NFL, to have to walk away earlier than he probably would like. He is probably top 4 or 5 center in the league.
He's been top 5 in both pass block win rate and rush block win rate the last 3 years.
Yeah, and that's 4 would be easy, and he's not number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he's from Minnesota, went to Bama. Just to let you know, originally from hometown kid. So you wish him all the best. You got June. Now you got the mandatory mini camps coming up. You got OTAs and you got mandatory mini camps coming up. So this is where you'll see a couple trades, late. Right, I'm assuming Aaron Rodgers is going to pick his team here, or Kirk Cousins is going to be on the move, and then you start to hear, who could be in for a big year next year. It'll be interesting to see what Michael Penix does. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Kirk Cousins and the teams that really need to either get back up to the championship pedigree or, continue along the process of being championship level. So it's big time for NFL, but then also come Friday, it's kind of on a, I guess, times 5, times 6, Friday Night Lights, 7. What's different, Friday Night Lights was essentially a Nebraska football camp where they brought in the likes of Micah Parsons and all these guys and Bookie and all that, and put Nebraska on display. And essentially they were there to help raise the profile of Nebraska. Not many, or if any, came to Nebraska. Bookie was committed for a month or 2. But now I think what Matt Rule and I guess the recruiting staff and, the athletic department decided to do, and you've seen this at other places. I think Miami might have had one, but not to the scale I think Nebraska's having, is 7-on-7 tournament with the championship game at night. Free for the fans. And plus, if you come and there you get like a hot dog Gatorade. So it's
first 500.
First 500. So it is free for the first 500. So it's a great recruiting tool where you get to see guys up close and personal. You get to see some kids maybe that you might not have been on your radar. I always talk about CJ Stroud. Talked about it on Inside the Huddle on Sunday. So make sure you tune in there on 8:00 in the morning about how CJ Stroud got to Ohio State by the way of 7-on-7 teammates going to Ohio State.
Yeah.
And now he's a franchise quarterback. So you just never know who you might.
He's getting there.
He's getting there. Yeah. Well, the slew-footed slanger better get there this year. It's the big year for him.
Now that Bobby Slowick's gone, he can get back to being a franchise quarterback.
Yeah,
How about that?
Yeah.
For 15 weeks out of the year.
And Larry Tunsil's gone, so now the pressure's on. Better throw it even faster. So you just never know who could start their career or start them at Nebraska. Obviously, biased to Nebraska, coming off an event like this. But for their coaching staff, where recruiting is such a big deal, and you're trying to take the offseason hype, year 3 of Matt Rule, this assumptions and the expectations outside of Vegas is that Nebraska is going to be 9 wins plus next year. And then obviously potentially getting in the college football playoffs, according to everything that they're thinking or doing or saying or thinking and saying. This is where you can get, let's just say, 50 to 60 guys that you might have on your radar and have an unofficial visit and get to see them, talk to them, evaluate them. Whole staff and recruiting staff get to kind of give your take on them. So it's kind of like a active combine. It's not the underwear Olympics like the combine. It's actually like a 7-on-7 / football camp with some really good players.
I would be curious to know, obviously Nebraska has it figured out behind the scenes with the legality of it all. There's no way this counts as an official visit for any of them. It shouldn't even be an unofficial, I wouldn't think, because it's just a 7-on-7 event hosted by Nebraska. Yeah. It's not, Nebraska putting this on. It's just Nebraska hosting it.
Yeah.
And is Nebraska going to be in the running for all these players? No. Will Nebraska be in the running for a couple dozen of these players, maybe optimistically. But this is a great way to see if there's anyone under the radar that catches your eye, or if you have any high priority targets. You invited their teams to come, whatever it is. Can you get them essentially a free visit to Nebraska? Yeah. I don't know what the contact rules are for the coaches, if they can actually have conversations with players or if they just have to sit in the stands and watch. But either way, having them on campus, having their eyes opened by the city of Lincoln, hopefully, definitely never a bad idea.
No, and, they get to see the new facility, the Big Go Big project. They get to see the stadium, get to see the campus, the city of Lincoln. And then, obviously, I'm encouraging all our ticket listeners and the fans that are listening to go and attend. You'll get to see. So I'm sure there's some present players that'll be out there watching at different times. And so you'll see I'm assuming the coaching staff and the support staff will be out there. And, I don't know how you can work it to where it's an unofficial visit. And I'm sure there's ways to kind of work around or within the rules. I think it's a great time to get kids on campus and not having them wait. I wouldn't say waste or burn up one of their official visits, but then also it's an extra unofficial visit. So the more time that you can create relationships, both in the first turn, get them to commit now, or you win their commitment now, or if you come in and we've seen this, essentially a close second, or the bonds that you can get through other coaches and coaching staffs to send guys here. Also, if I'm on the flip side, a 7-on-7 competitor, I want to get on the radar and I catch people's attention. I might not be Nebraska guy and say you got too many linebackers in your class, right? I'm just going on my position, but I show well, or a receiver, a DB. That's how you end up going from, let's say, a regular 3-star recruit to a high 3-star recruit. You get more offers, more opportunities. And obviously, I never forget where it started, even if I have to pick another school and say it does or it doesn't work out there or is working out there and I want to level up. I end up at Nebraska, all based on this camp on 7-on-7 display comes Friday.
We've had our fair share of conversations about 7-on-7, the positives and the negatives of it for the game of football as a whole, right? Not just college football, but even its effects into the NFL. If you're a Nebraska coach, what can you most accurately evaluate during 7-on-7, even if it's not quote unquote real football?
Well, you get to see how they move. You can see how explosive they are. You can, depending on the program or the group that they play with and how they go about 7-on-7, see how they can run route, and then obviously defensively how they defend routes. Do they have good ball skills? Can they track the ball? Can they win 50-50? Now, granted, there isn't any pads on and all that. Pads aren't as big a factor right now because you don't get to be as physical as it when I played. So you're able to see some things, game speed versus time speed. A big emphasis at Nebraska is track speed. Some of the, majority of these kids might run track a little bit. A lot of them have to do 7-on-7. So you get to see guys coming in and out of their breaks and as simple as, do they have strong hands? What's their catch radius in a competitive environment? Quarterback is a little bit easier just because it's a little bit harder, because you're not getting hit. There's no lineman.
Right.
But you get to evaluate some things. It's a different, it's not everything that you evaluate on. But that's where a lot of the offers come there right now. You got to think when Malachi Coleman, I remember he went down to it was satellite camps. Remember it was like being a part of big satellite camps. He got on the map of Georgia and Miami at a satellite camp down south somewhere. And then obviously was able to take it and parlay it to, Nebraska. And now he's up at Minnesota. So, I think there's use for it. I think if evaluated right and taken, to the max that you can take it to, I think it's great. And I think the biggest thing is June 6th, putting Nebraska, building the program. And then you've seen different guys and different players. Obviously, you got, Taylor, doing a lot of recruiting and stuff.
He's here all week.
Yeah, he's there all week. So
did his own camp and he's sticking around.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the deal. And obviously it's something that where, he's trying to really, forge himself into, the city of Lincoln and Nebraska. And so, it's one of those things that you got to make sure that, you're taking care of that, but then also the peer recruiting and the word of mouth is good. And he's just trying to, I guess, show his, loyalty to Nebraska. So it's, it's a good opportunity for both the players and the university to be out there and start off the month of June. And hopefully we can get some commitments out of it. I'm sure there's guys that they want to get a commitment from, and I think the more commits that you get improves your class ranking. And then obviously I think there's a lot of 4-star recruits coming. That helps you kind of build your program because you're constantly trying to re-recruit, and then obviously get guys committed here, and then obviously end up being good.
It's a great opportunity to get guys to campus that you would have never gotten to campus. And you would like to think that the more of these high-profile guys you get to campus, the more of them you'll land eventually. Now, does that mean out of high school you get the signing day buzz? Maybe, maybe not. And of course, ultimately, you got to win games on the football field. That's what you would like to think that a lot of these young men that are coming for the 7-on-7 camp are looking for. Sure, NIL certainly plays a factor. Nebraska's done a pretty good job of getting visits from top prospects recently, right? They'll get a lot of top-ranked guys at their position. Maybe not every year, but in a cycle of 4 or 5 years, Nebraska will have a handful of number one at their position guys on campus.
Right.
Nebraska has always been able to do just enough to get in the conversation, but not be there by the end of the party.
Yeah, well,
you just got to find a way to close.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's I think your best closing tool, right, is WIN.
Right.
And this is the year. This is a pivotal year. I think it's set up schedule wise. Obviously, you could just look at Indiana and look at how they're able to get indoors that they weren't able to. But then also, I think Nebraska has some built-in type of caveat that Indiana doesn't have. So Nebraska gets those wins and some big wins and gets in the conversation, legit conversation. I think last year was great, a big step in the right direction, and we've seen it, right? And you had the first kind of big get obviously was Dylan, which opened some eyes, right? You made national news. It was even on a Today Show and all that stuff, right? So you can't get much bigger than that, especially at the time. Actually, it overtook the teams that had the number one recruiting classes. It was Nebraska. Then you're able to have a rookie quarterback get you to a bowl game and then win the bowl game, right? Obviously not at the scale that Nebraska wanted, but that's what you're able to do. Now you can do events like this, have great month of June, hopefully get some commitments, and then reach the standard, hopefully that's been set forth, the clear blueprint, and then the culture is led on by the players, and it comes to fruition. Then it'll turn to, instead of being in the conversation, you are the conversation, and then the closing percentage should go up.
How well attended are 7-on-7 tournaments normally? Because I'm guessing they're not being held in 85,000 person capacity stadiums.
I don't know. I mean, it's
like if Nebraska has.
I think
1,000 people there.
It should be a little bit more because it's Nebraska. I think the fan base and being able and recruiting is always it's like a whole nother season. Like a regular big 7-on-7, like the big ones. I mean, it's a lot of people there. I mean, but they're on huge facilities. But I don't think I think Nebraska is going to be in a whole different level because of the stadium. I'm assuming they're going to get a lot of fan support, the social media aspect. Nebraska, I think, are going to be able to put something like this. Do you think in 4 years down the road, continue along doing it? It will be like Friday Night Lights, but with this 7-on-7 type of. This will be a place that in your 7-on-7 schedule is where you want to go. Yeah. Then if you can get some of the younger ages involved in it, it could be like a whole 2-3 day thing after the football camps. So it's a great opportunity to really be the one that really sets forth the place to be. And that's where college football has really started to change as far as recruiting. When I was coming out winning and then continuity was huge. The same coaching staff. I want to know that we're going to be in the bowl game hunt. Now it's coming to Nebraska. We were going to Orange Bowl every year and Fiesta Bowl for obviously winning national championship. That was huge. And winning. Now it's winning, but then also association with, I guess, the cool kid. And that's where Nebraska's headed. And then obviously, everything. Just obviously coaching and stuff like that. But this is what is attractive to kids And once you get them here, then you get them in your system. And then everything, all the hard work that you do is worth it because the payoff is, hopefully wins.
Like you said, this isn't the hard work hosting the camp. This is the planting the seeds.
Yeah.
For the most part, right? This isn't the home visits. This isn't the bringing them in on an official visit, having to be, at your very best. This is, hey, cool. Nice to meet you. First time you meet each other, bump elbows at a party or something like that. The hard work is what comes after this. It's going to be a big event. And like I say, there's nothing that goes into it. But this needs to be the start for Nebraska. This isn't the culmination of anything yet.
No, this is like I guess, I think recruiting now is like, remember when they used to have those like reality shows of speed dating?
Mm-hmm.
So this is like the second or third one. This is like the beginning process. Now you're trying to it's like The Bachelor or whatever. You're trying to really, get down and get you a rose, and then you want to be the one that gets the girl at the end. So I think it's you setting forth the foundation of who you want you, who you need, and how you get them. But instead of on an official visit week, a big official visit weekend, and let's just say it's like 6 guys. Now you have like 20,
right?
And hopefully 30 guys that you can get and really recruit and get them in, and hopefully you get a couple program changes.
Would you rather recruit at a 7-on-7 tournament or an AAU event? Which is the easier recruiting ground? The simpler, more straightforward, more believable?
Well, I think AAU is funny is because these coaches they were like, yeah, we're coming to watch you. They know who they coming to see. They just want verification that you 6'8". They want
which then you go to the NBA Combine, finds out no, you're not.
Yeah, you're 6'5". You just want to make sure you're good, and I mean because I'd probably. I guess 7. No, I'd say AAU because you can really see who can play. But you know what? It's harder. I think it's harder to recruit basketball because there's so many different organizations and teams, and there's a lot of guys that actually can play.
Right.
Versus like, football, you can really. I think you can see a lot who's, what the way they compete if they're invested in football. Because I think football is the hardest sport to play. Because you practice 90% of the time.
Right.
You're doing a lot of practice. So if you can tell who loves it. Do you love football or do you love like all the
do you love being a football player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you love because if you love being a football player, that means you like a steak and sweatsuit type of dude. You like the steaks and you like wearing the sweatsuit.
Right.
But if you love football, you love it because you ain't playing a lot of games. Because your game is today when it's hot out, running. That's your game.
Who's the dude that you played with that loved football the most?
Me.
Well, okay, obviously.
No, hey, I'm gonna tell you. I play with a dude named Corey Sears, defensive tackle. My man had a punch sled in his backyard. We used to go over there sometimes and drink beers and stuff. And he would have, like the D lineman hit those things. He had 2 of them. I mean, Corey loved some football, man. He was tough. Back then, if you didn't love it, you just were kind of like shunned. But Corey, I mean, I never seen anybody with like a hip sled in the backyard.
Nice.
And you could just tell he had been going up and down.
Got the tracks in the lawn.
Yeah, he was violent with his hands and stuff, man. And I think more importantly, like you'd be amazed at a lot of the guys that don't love it. I think there's more guys that
notable guys that know their name that don't have that
there's
love.
More
for
guys
it.
that don't love it now and think they love it versus the guys. I think the guys that really love it, I think they stand out so much. And there's probably more guys that think they love it. They like it. They love everything else that comes with it. So they're doing enough to make sure they get like what they love.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's the old guys. We walked, 10 miles to school in the snow in an 80-mile-an-hour wind.
Uphill. And they took a long way home so you could go uphill again.
Just to get exercise. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but, we'll see. I think it's a great opportunity for Nebraska, great opportunity for some of the players, and we'll see how it comes out. Big weekend, like always. But let's take a quick break a little bit earlier, come back in Austin. We're going to talk about this Hall of Fame, College Football Hall of Fame.
Good one.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see who gets in. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with pay starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be breezy and warm with an afternoon high near 92. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms are likely, a low around 59. And tomorrow, showers continue throughout the day. It'll be breezy and cool with a high just 62. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through June 3rd is $1 off per pack on Plum Creek chicken, $1 off all bacon, and 15% off cheese and crackers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Country music star Rodney Atkins will be performing at the Icebox on Friday, June 20th. Tickets start at $30 and doors open at 7 p.m. The capacity is only 3,000, so don't wait. Buy your tickets at lincolnstars.com today before it sells out.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
The end of the school year is drawing near, which means graduation parties are coming soon. Are you prepared for hosting? Führer's Cheese Spread is the dip that brings everyone together to celebrate graduations and the close to a great school year. And it goes well with crackers, meats, soups, and more. How could you consider throwing a party without it? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's Cheese Spread. No graduation party is complete without it.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at cobblecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, College Football Hall of Fame edition, I guess. There's a ton of names going in here, or potentially.
The nominees.
It's like 80 million of them. And everybody's good, though.
That's the problem.
101 players, 34 coaches. Cut down.
Woo.
What do you do?
But Dallas Clark in, that's for sure, right?
Yeah, well, they say that Marvin Harrison Jr. should be a lock, right? Or Marvin Senior, excuse me. Should be a lock. Nick Saban's got to be a lock, right?
Mark Ingram.
He won the Heisman.
Cam Newton. Legendary year.
Yeah, he won the Heisman.
RG3?
No.
And Ndamukong Suh.
House of Spears is in. The big names are, well, Big Ten big names for your boy Scott Dortchman, Doctorman.
Mm-hmm.
He has Brad Banks. I don't think Brad Banks is a big name.
ESPN also lists Brad Banks, so for the near Heisman.
Yeah, but Keyjana Carter is probably a bigger name.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these guys are yesteryears with Kevin Hardy. Even Dallas Clark's a little bit almost yesteryear. Don't realize how good he was. Ryan Kerrigan, probably a bigger name in the pros versus college.
Mm-hmm.
James Laurinaitis, I think both, but now he's coaching at Ohio State, so that gives you a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
Gene Smith. Look, Simeon Rice, this is going to be a huge year for him. He should be in there, and he's going to go in the pros.
Interesting.
According to Warren Sapp. But the biggest name, I think, so far is your boy Ndamukong Suh.
Mm-hmm. From the Big Ten side.
From the Big Ten side,
Mm-hmm.
in particular, Nebraska. I will say this. I keep saying it. Is I know Ndamukong Suh. I know there's politics that go in, and Ndamukong Suh is going to go in and should go in. But eventually, Jason Peters is going to get on there.
Mm-hmm.
Dominant. I mean, before Ndamukong, before the House of Spears, I don't know what, I guess Peter built, so he'll get in. Some other big names that people don't really realize, Flozell, the Hotel Adams.
Heard the name.
Biggest dude I've ever seen. He is huge.
Hence the hotel.
Yeah. Let's see, Courtney Brown. You probably don't remember him as a defensive end from Penn State. It was him and LeVar Arrington. Courtney Brown was crazy, like long arms, and so I went to Cleveland, got a little bit, knee injuries. Then you have guys like Ken Norton Jr. was unstoppable. Now when he was at UCLA, they were Pac-10, Pac-12. There's some other guys, Olin Kreutz, obviously Washington, but part of the Big Ten now. But still a great player. You mentioned RG3. Mark Ingram should get in. Josh Heupel is going to be interesting.
Yeah. That's, again, politics game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Eric Bieniemy?
I think so. Now, here's
Des
one.
Bryant?
Des Bryant. You're listening now. Now
Okay.
it gets interesting here.
Okay.
You talk about almost Heisman, right? And I'm going to go with Jordan Lynch from Northern Illinois. He was must-see TV.
Yeah. That 2013 team.
Almost Heisman. He's on the ballot. Manti Te'o.
Yeah.
Is on there. Essentially, was, second in the Heisman. Let's not forget, Aaron Donald is on there. There's some crazy names. D'Amico Ryans is on there. Richard Seymour.
Your boy Farley was calling him DeMarco Ryans all day today.
That's Farley. Look, Richard Seymour, who just got in the NFL Hall of Fame, he's on there. Jonathan Vilma, We remember him,
Woo!
right?
Mm-hmm.
Kellen Moore, obviously. Alan Faneca just went in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
There are some dudes on there that are going to have to wait to get in that are some big time dudes. Now, some of them took their game to a whole nother level at the highest level in the NFL, but there's some guys that were really, really good at their respective college. You got to think Ryan Leaf essentially, single-handedly almost beat Michigan and put Washington State on the map. Robert Griffith III obviously won the Heisman. I mean, you got to think you got Cam Newton, Robert Griffith III, and Mark Ingram. Somebody's going to be left off, and they won Heisman.
Crazy.
So there's so many great players, and this is also not even talking about, Bernard Berrien when he was at, Fresno State. Obviously, people don't know him. I remember him from the pros. Alex Brown, who was unstoppable. Rocky Kalmus from
Oklahoma,
right? Yeah, a guy that was the big prototype safety before, like Ed Reed, Mark Carrier, who was at USC, who was playing in college when I was in high school, and so I remember him. You got to think a guy that gave Nebraska fits, Monty Ball, right? I still remember him running over us at up there when there's doing the stupid jump around. There's a ton of guys that let alone Dallas Clark, who was really the godfather or one of the godfathers of tight end university, from Iowa. There's Brad Culpepper, defensive tackle from Florida. He was good. Ken Dorsey.
Yep.
Obviously really good. DJ Dozier. You want to hear a funny story about DJ Dozier?
Yes.
So after my dad retired, there was just a bunch of Viking running backs that never kind of came to fruition. This is before everybody was like, all right, running backs from Penn State don't do well in the pros. But DJ Dozier had a baseball background, and then obviously was supposed to be good enough to play in the major leagues in baseball, chose to play football. Penn State, obviously we got him up there with Minnesota, and he was supposed to be the next coming of Chuck Foreman. A little bit taller guy, that didn't happen. DJ Dozier. I remember that name. My dad used to always be talking about he wore number 42. He wasn't wearing 44 and all that. Also, here's another guy, Von Dunbar, running back at Indiana. Well, this is back when Indiana had the worst uniforms in college football history, but he would put in work, right? You had Greg Esslinger, who center from Minnesota. He was really good, lineman under the radar, but not to the name. Here comes one. Willie Gault.
Willie Gault. Okay.
Super Bowl shuffle.
That's right.
And then here's one guy that, speaking of Farley, I always talk about the story of Farley when we're down there in Lubbock, right? First of all, Lubbock is only getting guys out of the transfer portal, money only.
Money.
It's the worst. I tell you, we flew down there. It was windier, way windier in the day. And I remember looking, and all you saw was dust, and there was a tumbleweed.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this place is horrible. I was like, Baylor. We had the worst road trips for 1 year. We went to Baylor once, right? Played down that.
Probably at Iowa State, too.
Yeah, it was stank up there. I didn't even, first of all, Fred Hoiberg, if you're listening, man, I didn't know you were from Des Moines, and I know you went to Iowa State, but I didn't know you were. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that you had to be up there in that funk, and you're just used to it. But
he made it work for him, though.
Yeah, he did. But we were down in Lubbock, and I was like, this place is horrible. And then we were in the locker room, and it was the worst small. And then, granted, they didn't have, it wasn't very big or whatever. But we were playing against them. This is where Farley was standing there, and they threw a ball to him, an interception.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a really good running back named Byron Hanspart, and we were tearing him out the frame. We were tattooing him just because he was supposed to be this big time running back. But I remember Farley hit him and was talking junk. I think the coach's name was Spike Dykes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we were sitting there. It was hot down there, and I remember Coach McBride came over and said, "All right, now the ref is over here telling me you talking junk to Spike Dykes. You need to stop." Farley like, "I got you, Coach." We made a tackle on the sideline. Farley was right over there giving him the business again against Byron Hanspart. So another guy here, Kevin Hardy, linebacker from Illinois. Used to be linebacker at U. You got to think him and Simeon Rice the same team.
A certain host of the ticket was trying to tell me that Kevin Hardy was more of a defensive end than a linebacker.
That's the opposite.
It's a different one.
Simeon Rice was the defensive end. They got him listed as linebacker. He actually was a defensive end. Kevin Hardy was an outside linebacker, big linebacker,
like a 3-4 outside guy, or is he a 4-3
he did
guy?
everything.
Gotcha.
But here's the trivia question: who was probably the toughest guy on that defense? That's not will never be on the list. That was a part of that. They used to call him there was the trio of linebackers. This is when Illinois had Simeon Rice, Kevin Hardy. The trivia question: who was
the other guy?
Yeah,
I don't know.
John Hollister.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, from South Side of Chicago.
They kept him home.
No. He's from the South Side of Chicago. He's like Steve Blake in basketball terms. He will throw hands at anybody. I mean, you hear what I'm saying? Yeah. And so give a shout out to baby John Hollister, man. But yeah, there's some great players on there.
We got some coaches too.
Oh yeah,
Larry Coker.
Yeah.
First rookie head coach since '48 to win a title.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
Thing he did for TCU.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Peterson. Boise and Washington.
Who gets in out of those three, you think?
See,
Who
I'm
gets in and who
least
should
sold
get in?
on Coker.
You aren't?
Least sold.
I
Not
would say that.
sold, but least sold.
Yeah.
Patterson and Peterson are both so good. I mean, Patterson, TCU's all-time wins leader.
Yeah.
6 top 10 finishes.
Mm.
And this was before TCU was anything, right?
Yeah.
In the WAC, in the Mountain West and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Bit of a schematic innovator guy with the 4.25.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff he was doing there. But if I have to pick one, I got to pick Chris Peterson.
I say Chris
And
Peterson.
Boise State, just that iconic kind of mid-major program, some major iconic wins. Took Washington to the college football playoff as well. I would say Patterson probably gets the edge in terms of what he did on field, longevity and all that. But I think Peterson with the Fox gig and the Boise aspect of it, plus the college football playoff.
and the resurgence of Boise too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Chris Peterson gets in. All of them deserve to get in.
Mm-hmm.
The only one guy that probably don't deserve to get in is Tommy Tuberville.
Did you hear Bruce Pearl could be running for his open Senate seat?
Yeah.
Dude, college basketball needs Bruce Pearl to run for Senate. Auburn we can't continue this Auburn nonsense. I will contribute to Bruce Pearl's Senate run in a heartbeat.
You know who the best looking guy that is on there? The funniest guy, Ralph Regent.
Oh, Ralph Regent.
Remember him?
Yeah.
And he was the godfather of Maryland, man. He made Maryland.
Yep.
I mean, look, he had some studs out there. He had Vernon Davis and your boy Lights Out, Sean Merriman.
Mm-hmm.
So he could recruit. Larry Coker, I think, doesn't get enough respect that he deserves. And also, I think he wasn't at Miami long enough.
That part.
I think, but then I also think the work that he did at Texas San Antonio doesn't get enough credit because it's not on the big scale. But to take that job and really do the things he did shouldn't go unnoticed. So eventually I think he'll get in. So it's a good class. And obviously we only worry about the Nebraska guys, which would be Ndamukong Suh. He has to get in. I think that dominance that he had at both of obviously the college level, more importantly, which is he's going to be judged on. And he was must-see TV, iconic plays. Obviously the 5 sacks and just ragdolling
McCoy.
Mm-hmm. The Missouri game.
Yeah.
Then the
Colorado
game, the intercept.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so all that, and then almost winning the Heisman, and then he won everything underneath the sun as a defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Nebraska, and I think obviously the uptick of Nebraska, I think it puts him at the forefront. So hopefully he gets in. But there's everybody. If all these guys got in, you could say, okay, they deserve it.
Yeah.
And to be on the list is great. And so, hopefully everybody gets in, but more importantly, Ndamukong Suh gets in.
If is this his first time on the ballot?
I assume so. I think I know I
got an email from Keith Mann. Shout out Keith for that, but
he's got to get in, right? I mean,
it depends on who the voting base is too. That's the other part of this. People might respect his stats and the awards that he won, but I feel like for guys my age, growing up watching Ndamukong Suh, understanding how dominant he was, if you get some older voters, he's like, oh yeah, we saw someone just like him before.
Yeah, and then you got Aaron Donald too, where it's kind of, Aaron Donald, he was dominant in college, but
this is his first year, by the way. Shout out.
Pros is really where he took off, and so Keith's got his work cut out for him.
Here's the notes from the email from Nebraska. Suh was the first defensive player to win AP College Player of the Year since it was awarded beginning in 1998. First defensive tackle invited to the Heisman ceremony since who?
Warren Sapp.
Warren Sapp in 94. Best finish tied Rich Glover, third in 72, won the Outland Trophy to make it 9 Outland winners, 8 players at Nebraska, won the Rotary Lombardi Award, fourth Husker to sweep the Lombardi and the Outland. Can you name the other 3? You know the name.
Dave Remington.
Remington in 82.
Would it be Aaron Taylor?
It was not Aaron Taylor. I said Rich Glover.
Larry Jacob? No. Rich Glover.
So Glover was the earliest, then Remington. Dean Steichler.
Oh,
then
yeah,
in 83.
that's right. Yeah. It's back to back.
Yeah. So you got the Bednarik and the Nagurski, like you were saying, first Husker to win them both. Finals for Walter Camp Player of the Year and Lott Trophy and Big 12 Player of the Year. He was the only other Nebraska Big 12 Player of the Year alongside two-time winner, defensive player.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Was it Grant Wistrom?
It was Grant Wistrom.
Yeah,
I say you're getting a very angry texter call if you don't get this one right.
Yeah, Grant Wistrom, yeah.
So there's the resume for Ndamukong Suh.
And Grant's in, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that means Ndamukong's in. Easy. There's an easy call for Keith. He just got to forward those emails. And there's no denying. So it'd be I mean, I envision he gets in. He should be first ballot. So bigger and better things obviously for Ndamukong as he's I'm assuming he's retired from NFL football and going into this next life of chasing his two sons around. So he's got his hands full. He stays in shape. He still works out pretty good, but I know he stays in extra shape, as you know, Austin, chasing kids around. But look, it's a great list, but obviously, I'm assuming Ndamukong going to get in, and then obviously the coaches as well. So we're going to take a quick break, come back, put a bow on this bad boy. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
The end of the school year is drawing near, which means graduation parties are coming soon. Are you prepared for hosting? Führer's Cheese Spread is the dip that brings everyone together to celebrate graduations and the close to a great school year. And it goes well with crackers, meats, soups, and more. How could you consider throwing a party without it? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's Cheese Spread. No graduation party is complete without it.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
Noticing more dust at home? It may be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Breathe easy and healthy. Call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduced High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Now's the best time to lock in early order savings on a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Plan for success with the latest technology, including Exact Emerge high-speed planters that help you cover more acres with greater precision and productivity. Order your planter for next year now to unlock the biggest savings of the season. Contact your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. To honor the new store opening, A1 is offering $25 off any service over $300, $50 off services over $500, and $75 off services that total over $750. All through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. Quick segment. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. 3 hours go by quick on the block, and obviously old school, doing it the new school way. And
It's hour 5 for me, Jay.
Hey, you got stamina.
I got hour 6 coming up, by the way.
Bach's gone, right?
Yep.
Still?
Yep. Back at the end of this week, I believe.
Bach about to get about 55 million hours. Welcome back hours. Look at Harrison back there. Everybody go, well, it's like
Hey, shout out Harrison. He's getting a well-deserved break the end of this week. So
yeah, good for him because he works
Big
hard,
shout
man.
out.
It's back like I'll talk about this whereas it wasn't the exact analogy or example is like Scotty Scheffler won a Memorial, right?
Mm-hmm. He has more wins than I think the Rockies do series wins.
Yeah, in the last like 2 seasons.
Yeah,
but hey. His wife has, it's her first kid, kid probably got all this energy and stuff like that. And you go through it. And it's like, now granted, this is his job. But if he'd been golfing out all day and extended, saying, hey, we're playing 9 more, emergency 9 or something, like have a couple beers, you get home, you got a newborn or something. Here's the
Here
kid.
you go.
That's what you guys as producers, Jake, when Bach comes back, you got to hand him it. And just hopefully, unlike Scotty Scheffler, his little man had a serious explosion.
Woo!
Yeah,
dude, Beckett had not quite Scotty Scheffler level where you could see it.
Yeah,
but we must have fed him something he was allergic to, and we're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
that little dude was going through it.
Yeah,
I
man.
have not walked into a stinkier room in my life.
Hey, man, those little humans produce some epic, I guess, explosions and funk that comes out of those little bodies. But anyways, the funny thing is that what I want to get your opinion on, Austin, is finally, Deion Sanders gave some more actual factual evidence of what was being told out there as far as why Shedeur slipped. First it was like, here's the funny thing about it, is what people don't understand about the NFL. They talk about the draft process and all that. When they were saying, I knew it wasn't true. He's not going in there with headphones. I know that for a fact. It wasn't that he wasn't prepared, because they tell you to test the answers. And then granted, some things could be other. And actually, probably Brian Dable didn't like him, didn't like his dad. So he wasn't never going to go there anyways. And then they talk about, well, everything that comes with him, right? Here's where I'll push back on that. In the NFL, the media and the access to players is controlled. It's like you're not talking to a player unless it's beneficial for the team, no matter who you are. Here's the examples. So when Danny Woodhead and Victor Cruz started going off, you started to see them highlighted on lower level teams, right, through Hard Knocks, and then it sprungboard their career. Or if there's you see it every year in training camp. You see it with the Colts. You'll see it with the Texans. You'll see it with the Bills. If there's a player that starts to ascend, he's at the forefront. If he's a young rookie that they want to talk about because the team is so garbage, he's at the forefront. Or if it's a veteran that knows how to kind of control the media and all this other stuff, he's at the forefront. You're a guy that Shedeur is not going to be able to dictate when he's getting interviewed, no matter what he is outside of the stadium. If he's fourth on the depth chart, he's
18th on the interview list.
He's not on the list. The only thing that he'll be able to do is do the social media thing, and that's what he's going to do anyways. It's like Bronny.
Sure.
And sure, like as a coach or as a coordinator or a young quarterback coach or a young coordinator or a young head coach or all three of those coaches, if you're on the hot seat, do you want to have a whole bunch of questions about, your emergency quarterback on Sundays? Most likely not. But I don't think it's to the point that you don't draft him. And sure, some guys thought they were going to, teach him a lesson. And, Shiloh was like, well, if you slip, he knew he was cool. He's like, he ain't getting drafted. But here's the problem. Everything you hear out of Tampa and from Todd Bowles, it was like, we got to steal for free because we didn't spend a draft choice. Excellent shape, hard worker. Everybody gravitates to him, leader. Now, whether he makes it or not, obviously it come down to numbers and all that, right? So now that's not there. And the same thing with Shedeur. So all that wasted energy to try to teach him a lesson, you actually probably upticked all his stuff that you were scared to bring with him.
Congratulations.
And he's in a place that needs Shedeur more than he needs them. Cleveland Browns is like a cluster, what.
You can just say they're the Cleveland Browns.
They're in the armpit of America for a reason. And so it was
interesting by the lake, right?
Yeah, and actually, I'll give it. LeBron and the money they brought in Cleveland is actually a pretty cool city now.
Except that it's Cleveland.
If
it changes its name, maybe it can be cool.
Yeah.
But as long as it's Cleveland.
It was the land, and so they need to change it.
It was.
And it was cool right there. But Deion got into it and said it's going to be interesting when or if Deion comes into contact with some of the people that knows Shedeur and knows Deion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just say if they aren't working at certain networks at that point in time, that's a whole different conversation.
Right.
And Deion probably has to be understanding that, sometimes you got to toe the company line. But some guys probably went a little overboard. Because a lot of those guys that are on certain places right now that we're talking freely, Deion helped get to where they were at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is interesting. And NFL kind of always shows you where you're at. Now, where they think of you. What they thought of Jay Foreman, was you're going to be the 156th pick. That's what they thought of. Now I would tell you, I thought I was better. Now I was able to show it, but at that point in time, that's exactly what they thought of me. It hurt. You know what I'm saying? I was pissed. And so now you got to go and show it. I wasn't the only one. Well, I wasn't the first. It won't be the last. And so it happens all the time. I just wish I had got paid NIL in college. So, and I wish I would have got paid underneath the table too. I didn't get nothing, man. They were stingy around here. Anyways, Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, another great show. We'll holler at you tomorrow. Old school in the new school way. Always coming at you live, 1040 O Street and on the block. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. We'll holler at you tomorrow.